I've got stuff on my mind, and the stuff that I got on my that's on my mind is all about. Well, basically today, what I want to talk about is clothing, the motivation behind the clothing that we wear, and how it's not necessarily what you hear a lot of people say, or a lot of opinions. Everyone has an opinion on some of everything today. But one thing, I think clothing gets a bad rap, and that is people's motivation on why they wear what they wear. I just want to discuss this today. What it is what you hear a lot often is that people wear the clothes that they wear because they're trying to be something that they're not. And in a lot of ways, that's true, but the motivation behind being something that they're not is not necessarily trying to be something that is just not within their reach. The clothing at times acts as a bridge. It acts as a means of communication. It acts like a second skin. I like to use the term a second skin because that's exactly what it is. And just like your original skin, you're going to make sure that whatever you put on top of your original skin still reflects what you are about. It's a way of letting society and the world sort of know what you're about based upon what you're wearing. But a lot of times you get the criticism of wearing something, and simply because the item that you're wearing is of a brand name, or is of a popular name, or is of a luxury brand, if you will. People tend to get a bad rap, like they're trying to be rich or look rich or act like they're rich. And a lot of times that's just not the case. A lot of times it's simply about quality. It's about wearing something that's economical. It's about purchasing something that gives you the ability to wear at various times, at various events. A lot of people don't have a lot of money to spend on expensive items. But if they're going to buy an item that is expensive, it's going to be something that they can see themselves wearing to different types of arenas, different types of events. It's just that it just so happens that sometimes the item that they choose to wear is of a popularity. But what makes the item popular, that can vary between it's being worn by people who are famous, or it's being worn by people who are known for doing certain things. And sometimes people want to come off like those people. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We're still rooted in reality. You still have to, work hard, save your money, and go and purchase these things. It's just that I like to take a lot of the guilt trip off of people when they choose to wear certain things. Like what I got on right now, I don't have a problem walking in the public with it, because if I do wear it outside, it's because I'm feeling a certain way that, without being able to put it into words, just the very look of what I have on would say or convey something over to the next person. Now, if they take it in a comical way, that's okay. It's all right for things to sometimes take on a life of itself. But a lot of times people's motivation behind things are not what a lot of people think that they are. Like, I'm not going out someplace to fight crime. I'm not going someplace to save somebody or go fly away somewhere. That's not being very rooted in reality. But I am wearing something that is more like a conversational piece. It's something that would make people want to stop you and say something and talk to you. Sometimes that means a lot to a person. It means a lot for someone to just recognize them for what they got on. I just don't think there's anything wrong with being bold, being independent, and just going outside of the norm of what you normally would do. Wearing something that, the person next to you doesn't really know you. So it's always best to, let people see the you that you want them to see. That's just one thing that's been on my mind. Also, the other thing, I had a discussion, and I constantly have these discussions, and it has to do with pants sagging. You all know the look. You know the look, you're familiar with the look. It's the origins of the look that I like to settle once and for all right now. And the reason why I know I can do this is because I was there when it became popular. I used to get calls from a writer who used to write a column for the New Yorker magazine, and she would always call me, mostly always on a weekend, like on a Sunday. I would talk to her, and she would ask me, "So Leon, what's going on? What's the new thing on the street?" And I mentioned to her, well, the new popular thing that's going on right now is pants sagging. She asked me, how did this all start? I went to explain to her that what you hear a lot of people saying is pants sagging started in prison. It started in the jails. It was a sign of you letting another inmate or other inmates know that you were available for certain activities. And that with your pants being down, that was like a quiet symbol of letting, people know. That's not it. Of course, by default, your pants are going to fall if they take your belt away from you when you're incarcerated. But to say that activity flowed into the streets is incorrect. The activity of pants sagging started with the crack era. In the mid-'80s or early '80s, when you had a lot of guys on the avenue selling crack rock in valves, the number one place to stash that was always in their underwear. But then local government had put out a task force called TNT. A lot of y'all are familiar with the task force TNT. I forget what the acronym stands for. Tactical Narcotics Team, something like that. Feel free to correct me, on that. But it was that task force that when they would see guys that looked like they were selling something, they would jump out of their squad cars, immediately put the guy up against the wall, and they would pull the guy's pants down to check to see if he had any drugs on him, any contraband of any type, on him. And at the same time, they would also discover a weapon. Well, what happened was the dealers at one point noticed that if their pants were already sagging, the officers in the squad car would notice it, and they wouldn't even get out of the squad car to check them. They would see them, and they automatically recognize them and let them know, I see you out there. I see you ain't got nothing on you. And of course, they would shoot right back. That's right, officer, I ain't got nothing on me. You see, I ain't got nothing on me. And you could see that their underwear are down. A lot of times, they would jump out the car, grab them, pull their underwear down, pull their pants down, and find that they got nothing on them. And then they would just push them and tell them to get out of here, get off the Ave. Well, with a crowd looking and observing it, they're noticing your demeanor. They're noticing how you look. A lot of them are even like laughing at you. You're not no joke, but they are noticing that your pants are down and they had you sort of like ass out, if you will. Well, that, just like almost any other activity in the streets, that became to catch on. When they noticed with their pants down that the DTs wouldn't even get out the car, that was good enough. So what it did was it gave birth to two things. One, sagging your pants so that the police can notice you ain't got no product on you. And two, it created the stash. That's when the stash was created. When they no longer were keeping product on their bodies, they would take their packages and stash them someplace. Thus, they would walk around with their pants down so that the detectives can see them. And from the squad car, the detective noticed he doesn't got no product on him. And most importantly, he doesn't have a gun in his waist. So that was something that was real convenient for detectives to notice in the street. And just like everything else, things become popular. When people see other people being recognized for something that they weren't thinking about doing, now they find themselves doing it. Even though they're not selling no drugs, they're not selling no crack, they're not selling anything, they do recognize and like and admire the look. As weird as the look may be, it did have its purpose. And the purpose was for the detectives in the squad cars to notice them in the street that they didn't have any product on them, and they would leave them alone. Thus is how pants sagging became popular. It was never a sexual thing, especially in the streets. But that's how that activity became popular. Today, it's taken on a life on its own. Today, it is almost like it's being recognized as a symbol of being like sort of, hardcore. I don't see it. I don't know how me showing me your boxes makes you seem like hardcore. You, in my opinion, you're more or less probably giving somebody a hard on by looking like that. But I digress. I guess you can today do whatever it is that you want. But those were two of the things that was on my mind to talk about today. Was why people wear what they wear, and you're perfectly fine to rock whatever it is you feel like you want to rock, because it could be because of the way you feel and you want to express that to the world. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't be obscene, with it. You don't have to you don't have to offend with use clothing as a means of offending anybody. You can wear something that that has a print or something on it that's merely ink, paint, plastic, a heat transfer, whatever it is. It's not something that one should read into or take too serious. They're merely just words on a garment. So that's on my mind. That's what I wanted to get off today. That's what I wanted to convey to y'all. So also I want to thank you guys out there for hanging out, with me, bearing with me. I'm getting better every day, after my incident that I had. But things are looking good. I'm still working hard, still doing my thing, getting ready for this show that's coming up in September. So again, I want to thank all you guys out there for listening to me, checking me out, subscribing to my page. It's really fun. It's really exciting. I'm having a really, really good time with this. And definitely we'll be showing you some more stuff, because I've made some amazing stuff. I mean, I'm looking at this stuff objectively, and I'm like saying, I made this. God, I got to get one of these. God, I need one of these. So until then, I'll see you guys out there. I'm going to see y'all again. Thanks a lot.